Citation of Honorable St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu JP on the occasion of his confinement as Barwan Sabon Gari, Zaria, on the 3rd of May 2025. Your Highness, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is the citation of Honorable St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu JP, titled A Bridge of Honor, Harmony and Humanity, celebrating the legacy of Honorable St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu JP, Barwan Sabon Gari, Zaria. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand in celebration of a man whose life and deeds are defined by service, sacrifice, and relentless commitment to the betterment of society. Honorable St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu JP, the recipient of this prestigious traditional title, Barwan Sabon Gari, Zaria, is an embodiment of civic duty, moral uprightness, and a living testament to the values of peace, unity, and intercommunal solidarity. Born to the noble family of the late Mr. Samuel and Mrs. Magdalene Ogu Amadikwa of Umuma, Onitsha, in Izenihite, Imbise local government area of Imo State, young St. Heart was destined for distinction. His early educational foundation was laid at Marmara LEA Primary School, nestled within Sabon Gari local government area of Kaduna State, a location that would later become the nucleus of his life's mission and spiritual calling. He proceeded to Government Science Technical School, Suba, for his secondary education, where the seed of discipline and diligence began to sprout. His academic journey reached higher ground with further studies in public administration at Nuhu Bamalli Polytechnic, Zaria, where he imbibed the principles of responsive governance, public service, and the ethics of leadership that would later guide his every step. From an early age, St. Heart showed uncommon commitment to the service of faith, social justice, and community harmony. His trajectory in religious leadership began with the Catholic Laity Council of Nigeria, Zaria Diocese, where he served meritoriously as secretary. He was subsequently elevated to the position of provisional provost of the Kaduna Provincial Laity Council, a role he discharged with integrity, discipline, and a heart full of love for both the flock and the fold. In 1999, St. Heart was elected Assistant Secretary of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Zaria branch. His leadership competence and ability to unite across denominational boundaries led to his subsequent rise through the ranks, serving as Public Relations Officer 2, Public Relations Officer 1, and eventually as the Secretary of the CAN, Sabon Gari Local Government Branch, where he served 2 full terms. His legacy of faith-inspired diplomacy and administrative acumen earned him respect across religious and ethnic divides. At the zonal level, he was appointed Secretary of CAN, Zone 1, Kaduna State. His coordination skills, patience, and visionary perspective distinguished his tenure. When necessity called for a stronger collaboration across the tiers of the organization, he was elected Secretary of the Chairman and Secretaries Forum of CAN, Kaduna State, a rare honor reserved for those with impeccable credibility and unshakable principles. Your Highness, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it was these selfless services to the community that brought him to the attention of the late Alhaji Bashari Aminu, the revered district head of Sabon Gari. What began as a relationship between a youthful community organizer and a royal patron soon blossomed into a bond akin to that of a spiritual father and his devoted son, a mentor to a mentee, a patron to an acolyte. Mentored by royalty and molded by community service, without doubt, St. Heart passed all his tests with flying colors, thus becoming a royal protege to the revered royal father, developing a bond with unblemished love in unwavering companionship. Under the mentorship, watch, and guidance of the Iyangari, Honorable St. Hart blossomed, growing in both responsibility and influence. On that humble beginning, Honorable St. Hart was appointed a member of the Sabon Gari Local Government Task Force on Immunization, where he played an instrumental role in combating the spread of polio and enhancing public health awareness. His outstanding contributions earned recognition and commendation from global health institutions, including the World Health Organization, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, the Rotary Club, and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. These honors, while laudable, only scratch the surface of a deeper truth. He was a man who never sought accolades, but rather outcomes. In his recognition of his conflict resolution skills, deep empathy, and spiritual credibility, he was appointed to the Sabon Gari Local Government Security Committee and Interreligious Harmony Committee. In these capacities, he mediated tensions, facilitated dialogue. He advocated the ethos of peaceful coexistence in a community as rich in diversity as it is in complexity. Within the Igbo Community Association, ICA, in Zaria, he earned further distinction. He served both as chairman and secretary of the Arbitration Committee, the judicial arm of the ICA, where his knowledge of customary ethics and diplomatic tact resolved disputes, preserved unity, and promoted justice. He currently serves as chairman of the Izinihite Imbise Local Government Zaria branch, a position that speaks to his enduring commitment to his roots and the pride he takes in cultural identity. St. Hart is the founder and coordinator of the Good Health Foundation, a non-governmental organization devoted to promoting self-motherhood and child health, especially in underserved and remote areas. His foundation has reached hundreds of mothers and children with life-saving interventions, nutritional aid, and health education, restoring hope where it was fast fading. In the realm of public education policy, he served as a team member and secretary of the Basic Education Monitoring Committee in Kaduna State. A voracious reader and passionate educator, he also volunteered as an English language tutor at the community extramural classes in Ungwan Gabas Ward, where his devotion earned him the recognition of the best volunteer. His altruism defies the usual bond of ethnicity, class, or creed. He gives generously, humbly, with a deep-rooted sense of divine mission. In these roles, Honorable St. Hart has distinguished himself in humanitarian and educational services. His reputation as a trusted hand and a dependable agent of peace made Iya Bashari Aminu nominate and recommend him to the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mukhtar Ramalan Yeru, who appointed him Special Assistant on Community Relations. In that role, he was a steady bridge between government and the governed, translating policies into people-centered actions and conflicts into constructive engagements. He currently serves as Special Advisor on Religious Matters to Honorable Sadiq Ango Abdullahi, the distinguished member representing Sabon Gari Federal Constituency. His influence continues to span across grassroots mobilization, faith-based diplomacy, and legislative community synergy. Honorable St. Hart is also a man of letters. His books include Oh, Weep Not, My Country, approved as supplementary reading for senior secondary schools by Kaduna State Ministry of Education. Another book titled Jingle Rhythm, adopted for literature in English students in Imo State. Yet another called Independent Slavery, a philosophical reflection on the contradiction of modern African freedom and dignity, currently used in some Nigerian tertiary institutions. Motivated by his observations and personal experience, he authored another book titled Basic Education, The Sole Companion to Growth, a case study of selected northern states, a text that advocates equity in education and presents a compelling case for quality basic education as a tool for national transformation. As Managing Director of Propel Consultancy Limited and Head of Human Resources at Redemption Resources International Limited, he has demonstrated entrepreneurial competence and strategic leadership in the private sector. Yet, his deepest passion remains community service. He continues to lead the Good Health Foundation with vigor and vision as its chief executive officer and coordinator. On the home front, he is joyfully married to his graceful and supportive wife, Mary Jane Ukamaka Ogu JP. Together, they are blessed with 4 brilliant children: Hudson Chibuike, Maryland Chisom, Hartley Chigozie, and St. Heart Jr. Chiemere, each bearing a name that echoes purpose and legacy. Your Highness, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, thus, the man we honor today as Barwan Sabon Gari Zaria is a symbol of unity in diversity, a beacon of hope in turbulent times, and a rare embodiment of excellence in the service of God and humanity. This historic title, Barwa, is traditionally conferred upon men of unimpeachable character, proven courage, and tested wisdom, men who serve as warriors of integrity, champions of peace, and guardians of communal well-being. That this honor is conferred on Igbo Christian in a predominantly Hausa Muslim traditional settings speaks volumes. Let me emphasize, this is not the honor of one man alone. It is not that of St. Heart alone, but a well-deserved honor for the entire Igbo community in Zaria. St. Heart's honor is the crowning of an entire community aspiration. That is why it is not a personal triumph for St. Heart alone. It is a momentous victory for pluralism, inclusion, and national healing. It is an elevation of interfaith accord, ethnic fraternity, and patriotic merit. Indeed, it is a gift to Nigeria. In a country fractured by ethnic tensions and religious suspicion, the conferment of this honor on St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu sent a clear message: character, not creed; service, not surname; virtue, not village, is the true measure of nobility. Certainly, Barwa is a title not conferred lightly. It is aimed by one who is recognized as hardworking, honest, and steadfast, a custodian of justice, equity, and public trust, a peacemaker, mentor, and advocate of harmony across religions and ethnic divides. St. Heart served Sabon Gari with all his 3 T's, that is, time, talent, and treasure. A man who is a beacon of service in health, education, security, mobilization, and youth empowerment, not only in Sabon Gari or Kaduna State alone, but across the Niger. Yes, a Barwa is a warrior of integrity, a servant of the people, a pillar of community progress, attributes that were carefully and diligently engraved in his heart. Today's award is a living proof that St. Heart has regularly translated these attributes into actions and deeds. Today, the district head of Sabon Gari, Alhaji Ahmed Bashari Aminu Dambarhin Zazzau, has inscribed Honorable St. Heart's name into the annals of history and approved by the Emir of Zazzau, His Highness Malam Ahmed Nuhu Bamalli, LLB, CFR, as the first Barwan Sabon Gari Zaria, thereby admitting him into the permanent membership of the Sabon Gari District Council, a distinguished cycle traditionally dominated by northern nobles. Your Highness, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Sabon Gari, long known as a cosmopolitan microcosm of Nigeria, has found in St. Heart a fitting son, one whose life fuses vigor of the south with the hospitality of the north, the discipline of faith with the flexibility of dialogue, the zeal of activism with the humility of service. So, as we rise to our feet on this auspicious day, the 3rd of May 2025, let us do so not merely to applaud a man, but to affirm a principle: that goodness transcends tribe, and that greatness is not restricted to any religion. I doff my heart to this stallion, Honorable St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu JP, and indeed his Amazon, Mary Jane Ukamaka Ogu JP. I salute Honorable St. Heart-Chidozie Ogu JP, the bridge the beacon, the Barwa. Congratulations, my brother, my friend, my title holder. Without any iota of doubt, I testify that this honor is richly deserved. May your path of service continue to shine. I salute.